Hey, what's happening, folks? This is Casey Jewett here.
Hello, I'm Brandon Watson.
I've been in the brewing industry for about 6 years now. I've worked for Megaton, Ingenious Brewing Company.
I've been in the craft industry for the last 3 years. I started at Backpew and I've been with Megaton as the sales manager for the last year and a half.
I've been a sales rep for Deca Beer Co. for about a year now, and I also run their social media accounts.
I'm the creator of a local Houston-made drinking card game called F Your Liver. Welcome to the Beer Someone podcast. Hey everybody, and welcome to Beer Someone podcast. We're here at New Magnolia with Shayn. Shayn, what's your last name again?
Robinson.
Shayn Robinson, and you are one of the owners of New Magnolia?
Well, co-founder, don't do much brewing. That's left up to John and the brew team. I kind of just wear all the other hats.
Okay.
Very nice.
You're the guy that I probably know and associate most with New Magnolia in my head.
Well, I'm the guy on the street, the shoes on the pavement, the man about town.
Face of the brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't introduce Casey. Casey, how you doing?
Yeah, Casey Jewett here. I'm excited to be here, by the way. This is one of the ones I really was excited about doing. It's New Magnolia.
When I told him that I came up to you at Bloomfest and I said, "Would you do the podcast?" And you were like, "Yeah." He got really excited. He was really happy about that. That was a get for us.
Yeah, that was a good time. I'm glad y'all were able to set it up. I mean, it's been in the works for now a few months.
Yeah, it has. Bloomfest was in
May.
May.
Yeah.
Okay.
So May 10th. Last year June. This year May. Next year ideally April.
Yeah, right on. And we have some interesting stuff to bring up about that, I think.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about that?
Let's hold that little nugget for later.
We'll save it for a little later. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
down
we'll
with
tease
that.
it out right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so by the end of the podcast.
Yeah. We'll hold on. We'll hold on to that for later.
Oh, I'll keep them listening.
Put a pin in it for later.
Right.
Yeah.
What's happening with Bloomfest?
What's happening with Bloomfest?
We shall find out.
Bloomfest 2026, but there will
Gotta
be
listen.
a Bloomfest 2026.
There will be. Yes.
Yep.
We'll find out later what that's going to be.
What it's going to entail.
Very cool. Well,
we are
well,
here in the Heights.
We can definitely kind of go back to the beginning of all this. We like to kind of get the origin story and all that, and figure out how that went.
Yeah, I mean,
New Magnolia.
In the Heights, right? And so people, we get that. It's funny you say that because everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I've been to your brewery. It's like, way up there north of Houston in Magnolia." And I'm like, no. We're New Magnolia because the original Magnolia Brewery was in downtown Houston, right about where U of H sits downtown, between 1895 and 1935. It was one of the top 5 largest breweries in North America by production and volume. They were the dominant beer in the Southeast. They had the number 1 beer in the world in 1912. And they just had an incredible historic run as a craft brew. It was craft, yeah. I mean, as a brewery back then.
What was the name of the beer?
The beer that won was called Southern Select. So that was the beer that won number 1 beer in the world in 1912 in Belgium at the Grand Prix something or other in Belgium, and it was an award that was only given once every 10 years at the competition.
Wow.
And so the brewer, Franz Bronier, who was the head brewer of Magnolia Brewing, it was his first year on the job at Magnolia, brewed it up, shipped it over. It took probably 3, 4, 5 months to get there to the competition. And the way they used to do beer contests back then was they ran them through a bunch of scientific analyses. It wasn't based on what the judges of the day, like today, think about the beer on taste, visual, aroma, quality, style, the whole 9 yards. They actually checked carbonation levels, checked the sugars, checked the fermentation. I mean, they went through every nitty-gritty detail, and they had all these fandangled measuring techniques. So it was a couple thousand beers from around the world that were judged, and they came out number 1 in the world.
Wow.
So
that's
that was
awesome.
quite a win for Houston back then. And then you had that bragging right for 10 years. And so, that was, I didn't even know any of that prior to conceiving the idea of New Magnolia, other than I wanted to pay homage to the original Magnolia Brewery that was downtown Houston.
Yeah.
That was our goal. And our goal was to make lagers and pilsners and clean European-style beers, because that was what they were doing back in the day, and that's what they've been doing in Europe for 100, if not 1,000 years, right?
Right on.
And so that was really the driving force behind our namesake and kind of our ultimate beer design for craft beer in Houston.
Yeah.
You're like a craft beer Jurassic Park.
Maybe a little. Well, the only thing that came
You just fit. You're like what do you splice in the
DNA
differences with DNA with frog DNA?
Yeah.
Right.
And you just kind of fill in the spots and you bring back these recipes.
Well, that's what we've done because we met Philip Brognier, the grandson of France Brognier, the head brewer, in Conroe by pure chance at a beer collectors event in 2021. And in talking with him, he's like, I've got my grandfather's recipes. I've got 80 plus of them, all handwritten. They're all in French and Flemish. We can't translate them, so they're of no use to me, meaning Mr. Brognier. He's like, I don't even know what to do with them. I said, well, if you let my father-in-law translate them because he's fluent in French and he's also our head brewer, and we can translate all the recipes and any other materials that you have, and we'll give it back to you so that you can have it in your historical collection of information that you've been gathering.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, and what else do you want? I was like, we'll brew the beers, and we'll put all these beers back together based on what modern brewing conventions would allow for, using the historical notes and fermentation logs. Because there's two halves of the recipe that have been floating around in the Texas market for a number of years. One of them was like the fermentation recipe or cycle and data points, and the other one was the actual recipe itself. But nobody ever had the two pieces together. He's the only person that has two pieces that made the whole recipe.
Yeah.
And so we have that all now, and that's what
awesome.
have spent the last 3 years doing with the Texas Beer Collectors event here at New Magnolia. Every summer we hold it in July, and we rebrew all those beers from that period of time. And there was 4 of them. There was a Bach, there was Southern Select, which later became Grand Prize post-Prohibition.
Wow.
And then there was a Richelieu, which was basically a Canadian amber ale that got modernized in America and popularized in America. And then another pale lager. And so we've rebrewed those 4 recipes from the actual handwritten historical recipes of the past.
That is cool as fuck.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and so it's cool to be able to take something full circle the way we have. And it was not by design. It was by pure happenstance of just being at the right place at the right time.
John is John Hanna from Jurassic Park. Who are you? Are you Jeff Goldblum?
I can't be because he's the pessimist. He doubts it all. I'm the optimist, so I got to be the other half for the old man.
That's funny.
Right?
That's a really cool story, though. I actually, so me and my wife got married at the Magnolia Ballroom.
Yep.
And what was cool is we went around and tried, we went to several different locations to see if we wanted to get married there, right? And that was the one we walked in and we were like, oh, yeah, this is cool. And they're like, yeah, it used to be a brewery. And then I started looking into the story of the history of it. And I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So unfortunately right now, I think it's still an event space, but they've had a lot of issues with flooding and some of that stuff. They had several different floods, and then when it did flood, there were people that broke in, vandalized, and all that stuff. So I'm really hoping that they can kind of keep that place alive because it's a great, awesome, super cool venue. They have really cool, like, painted ceilings. It's like Sistine Chapel-style ceilings.
Yeah.
So really
Bart
cool.
Truxillo, he was a real estate developer and admirer of all historic development in Texas, and so he bought it in 1978. I want to say, I could be wrong. Don't skewer me for the date mishap.
Right.
And he restored it and had it historically put on the historic preservation, right? And so he died a couple years back in, I want to say 2019. He passed away from a brain aneurysm, and his niece inherited his estate. And I had spoken with him, with his niece, about 6 months prior to his passing, about us launching New Magnolia at the original ballroom there.
Oh, wow.
And we
so
were,
that was a conversation.
Yes, it was a real, and it was
That
a
would've been
That's
bio.
what y'all wanted to do in the beginning.
We wanted to launch
Okay.
New Magnolia with the press release and the Houston press and the Houston beer scene.
That's cool.
Invited to.
That's a really cool idea.
And it
Yeah.
was, and then he passes away before we get the opportunity to do this, and then his niece is just broken apart from it all and overwhelmed by all the obligations that he left her, and she kind of went like into silence and just wanted to be out of the limelight for the period of time. And I know that a few years back, she transacted and sold the building to another group who are working to preserve it and maintain it and keep it going as a historic location. And I will tell you, when I went and toured it, as you did, Casey, they have a really cool room in there with all the original glassware, posters, stock certificates, because that was their corporate office. That was the C-suite to the original Magnolia Brewery. And so that was where all the executives and owners occupied that space. And they had a little bar in there and for entertaining and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really cool space.
So for those that don't know, this place is on Franklin Street downtown, right in downtown Houston, Franklin Street and Milam. Franklin Street and Milam, right next to where Post HTX now is. It's right on that same strip.
Yep. Yeah.
Right by the bayou. It kind of overlooks the bayou. We actually, when we got married, we were right there on that little patio.
Yeah.
The closest brewery to there would be Frosttown.
Frosttown.
Now, where we are right now is in the Heights. We covered that a while ago. I think it's
or are we?
Bevis Street?
Yeah. Hey, Butthead, it's Beavis.
Beavis, yeah. Yeah. Right down the street from Crisp. I got to give a shout out to Crisp. I love the food there.
Yeah,
I worked there for
Crisp.
5 years, and everybody would call it Beavis.
Al, you know, Chris.
Yeah, Scabell, yeah.
He and I grew up together, but didn't know each other in Long Beach, Long Island, because we both used to surf Lincoln Avenue at the same time over the summers. And we figured that all out sitting here one day talking
What a small fucking world. That's crazy.
Really small, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And he knew the same people. He knows my family. He knew everybody I knew.
Yeah.
But he was permanent. I was transient.
That's wild. That's a wild story. Yeah. Al's a great guy.
Awesome.
Crisp, right here down the street from New Magnolia, is a great
Casey used to work
restaurant.
At Crisp. We do have to shout out Huey's.
Big time.
Huey's, we got a bunch of food here from Huey's.
Vietnamese Tavern and Grill.
Just down the street from y'all as well.
Yep.
They kind of like sponsored in a way by bringing us a bunch of food.
Lots
for
of
us
food.
To try. Lots of food.
Excellent food. They have two locations. One's right down the street from here on 18th Street. That's their OG location. And then they have a new location that's down Shepherd, just north of 610, off of Hydrick and Shepherd.
Good recall, man. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what
I thought about this before we started.
I would say that'd be a great double tap because you're so close to Huey's over here on 18th, right?
Yeah.
18th.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's like a double tap. Like get food, come down here and have a couple drinks.
Absolutely, yeah. And they have great beer selection there as well. He rotates
They do.
lots of everything local, and then he also gets some great beers from other states as well.
Yeah.
And imports.
Yeah, Phil has been a beer fan from the beginning. I remember he walked in here like 2 days after we opened.
Yeah.
And was like, "Show me around. I want to see what's going on." And has asked probably 1,000,005 questions since then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He took the picture that we posted.
Yeah,
on
we just
social
posted
media.
Yeah.
We just posted a picture saying, "Come down here and interrupt us for a free T-shirt." We should probably say that because that might be happening soon.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if somebody actually did it. Yeah.
Yeah, we posted on social media. First person to come and interrupt the podcast gets a T-shirt.
Somebody's walking around now. Let's see.
Is it this person walking?
No pressure.
I don't know.
Nah.
Is it not him?
Nope.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's we're just trying to come up with some ideas just to get people to kind of come in and be a part of what we're doing and just hang out, come have a beer where we're doing our thing.
Well,
we've
never really posted where we're gonna be. This is the first time we've ever kind of done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were just like, if y'all want to come and hang out and kind of have a beer with us, and maybe you have something to say. Yeah.
We might have you hop on just to say something.
If you want to say something about craft beer, we're down to hear you out.
Yeah.
The status of the scene.
Yeah, we definitely we're trying to come up with ideas to just get people to come visit breweries more often. Period.
Yeah, I mean that really is the key these days. With 2 closures here in the past few weeks and several in the past year or so, and God only knows what's coming next for other breweries. I feel like every time you turn around, there's like news of ownership or management shakeup, or news of staff layoffs and distribution changes and contractual hiccups, and it just seems like everybody's battling something in some form or another, and it's
just made me think,
dizzying.
And I'm gonna. You saw that George from Urban South isn't doing sales.
He's not with he's not with Urban South anymore.
Are they not doing Urban South in Houston at all anymore?
From what he texted to Luis Montalvo and was letting him know kind of what was going on, and they told him it's just the market's just not there for it.
So they're not going to be doing beer. Urban South's not going to be doing beer at all in Houston anymore.
Probably not distributing it here anymore. But yeah, they're just not doing well in the market. But I'll stand by what I've been saying for a while, because I was talking to Luis about this, and he was telling me over in California, where his wife's from, that craft beer's still booming. And there's an area where they live, kind of, I guess, Anaheim. There's some great first of all, there's amazing top-notch breweries there. Second of all, there's a little bit more affluency there. I think that has a lot to do with it. People just don't have as much extra money now to do what they want to do. I think people still want to go to breweries. They still want to drink craft beer, but it's just become more expensive because of everything else going up and being inflated.
It's really comes down to, like, and we talk about it all the time, and it's the things I don't want to say this every time we do a podcast, but it's customer service, quality of beer, and vibe and atmosphere. Yeah. And I think that's something that New Magnolia has all the check marks.
Right, yeah.
For sure. Like, this is a cool place. Look at these lamps.
Great location.
I don't know if they could see the lamps floating behind. Yeah, they can in Casey's camera. These lamps, they're just kind of.
The vibe's great. It's a great vibe.
I had somebody stop me the other day with a hat and their shirt on. They're like, "You're the New Magnolia owner, right?" And I was on the street, and they were like, I said, "Yeah, I am." And they're like, "We love your space. We love how family friendly and neighborhood focused you are." And they're like, "Please don't change anything. And we know there are breweries going out of business around us, and we hope that you're not gonna go that route." And I basically just said, "We won't, as long as you show up." Right. I mean, you just gotta come once or twice a week. You don't have to spend a ton of money. You just gotta keep coming. But then tell people that you know that here's a great brewery that does a good job.
Another check mark.
Yeah. And just people just have to spread the word. I sat quietly listening to a gentleman talk to another gentleman yesterday in our lounge area, and he was like, "Oh man, I got the Mug Club here." He's like, "It's a great price." The guy's like, "How much is it?" He's like, $600. He's like, $600 for a beer a day for the rest of your life? And he's like, "Yeah, plus you get a to-go package piece every month too." And he's like, "There's no way that makes economic sense." And in my mind, I'm in my office. They don't know that I'm listening to this. I'm like, no, it makes absolute economic sense, because he just brought you here and told you that.
Right.
It's not about the $600. It's about your return rate and how often you're going to come and the people you're going to meet. Because last night I hosted what we call a roaming happy hour for the Brew Club. And so what I do is we go to venues that support us by buying our beer and putting it on tap. So we went to Underdogs last night.
Nice.
And I basically open a tab. I buy all of our Brew Club members the first 2 beers. We sit around and shoot the shit and talk to each other, get to know each other. We talk about the venue. We talk about the beer industry. And I'm an open book, and I become very transparent about what it's like to own and operate a brewery and manage all these customers and patrons and staff and everything else. And they are like, "This is just so great that you're building this community, and we've already made our money back on the beer, and you're still buying us beer." And we do that every month. We go on a field trip to a new venue in and around the Heights.
Customer service, check.
Yeah.
Right? And we really, and it's
community.
to support.
You built a community around
to support the bars and restaurants that buy our product. I mean, sometimes we get 10 people that show up. Sometimes we get 50 people that show up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And a lot of people are like, "This is the first time I've ever been here. This is great. I want to come back here again." And even if they don't come, they still get the email 2 or 3 times that says, "This is a fantastic venue. This is what it's all about."
This is the club you're saying?
This is our Brew Club, which we have 100+ members in it right now. I think it's like 105 members.
Okay.
So it's small and manageable.
What's the price? Are you still selling memberships to the Brew Club?
On a very limited basis, we have lifetime memberships available, and then we also have our annual membership, which never closes.
What do those cost?
So $600 for lifetime.
Okay.
And then $300 for annual.
Okay, so if y'all want to be a part of that, you know what the prices are.
And you can buy it online. And it's managed through an app called Stitch, so it's very easy to deal with. You always keep track. We don't keep track of what you buy and what you get. You keep track of it through your app, and it's really efficient, and people love it. And then
cool.
Every club member gets the right to use the brewery for one event every year.
Wow.
For whatever they want to do.
That's a big perk.
Yeah. 'Cause they don't have to, if they want to have a birthday party, some other family event, whatever the circumstances are, they can say, hey, we would like to come in on this day at this time and use the space, and they don't have to pay a fee. They don't have to have a minimum bar tab. That's a privilege of being a loyal brew club member.
That's awesome.
That's a big perk.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's a
cool.
great deal.
It's all about giving back to the community that supports us.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and just to kind of tack on to what you were saying about people visiting breweries is something that I've been kind of trying to do when me and my wife go out, say we come downtown and want to go out to dinner. We try to hit a brewery either before or after. And that's something that a lot of people, you don't have to come here and plan to spend an whole afternoon. You can stop in just for a couple of beers on the way to or away from something you're doing. And that's what we've been trying to do, just to kind of we can't sometimes go in there and just, rack up $100 tab. We got to drive all the way to Kingwood.
Right.
But we'll try to have a couple here and there, and I think that's perfectly fine for people to just kind of make this like pit stop if that's one way that they can support breweries.
Yeah. It's people think that owning a brewery or a bar, for that fact, with the spirits program is like printing money, and the truth of the matter is it's one of the most competitive food and beverage segments to be in, especially in Texas, because when you boil it down, the majority of our beer consumers in Texas are drinking macro beer because that's what they've been indoctrinated on.
Right.
And when you take this segment of the folks that cross over into craft, whether it's partially or completely, they still slide back and forth between domestic and craft really easily.
Yeah.
And you really don't have you don't even of a piece of pie. I would say a third of it is true craft. The other 2/3 are somewhere in there. Probably a third of it will never touch craft. The other third is kind of transient between craft and domestic. And then there are just certain socioeconomic and ethnic backgrounds that just don't enjoy craft or want to be involved in it, or it's just not part of their upbringing, and so you get further limited. And you really look at the universe of craft consumers in the state of Texas, it's pretty slim, pretty very, very slim, and it creates a lot of challenges because the same audience has to travel from brewery to brewery to brewery to brewery, and to gain new patronage, like organic patronage, people who are like, I've never been here before, but I love craft beer. It's kind of hard. I mean, it's really not as easy as one would think. I mean, there's no week that passes that we don't have at least 20 people who come in and they're like, I've never been here before, but I had a taster, or I got a beer card, or somebody gave me a gift card, or somebody in my neighborhood said, hey, this is a great brewery. If you like this, that, or the other, go try it. And, it's that attraction rate that is challenging for a lot of breweries.
Yeah, I think even finding it at HEB is great too. That's I've been finding it at my HEB out in Kingwood, and I buy y'all's beer all the time. Yeah.
You get your beers all the way in Kingwood?
I buy what you see is what you get all the time.
WYSIWYG.
Yeah, WYSIWYG all the time. I love that
Great
beer.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, we were fortunate to get on with Benny Keith last year, and they got us into the mandate for WYSI, Redwood, and Heights throughout the HEB Houston market.
Right on.
So we're still working on getting deeper into that and building further into it, but it's
cool.
Nice to be there.
Yeah, because I'm excited. I want to try something else. I mean, I've been buying that one, and I'm mainly just an IPA guy, so I tend to just buy 6-packs of IPAs most of the time when I'm buying beer at HEB. But yeah, man, I'm excited. It's nice to see it because for a while I was on the 2-sip kick from Backpew. That was kind of my go-to.
Okay.
What are we drinking right now?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That's Hella Pills.
Hella Pills.
That's our
Hella Pills.
That's
what
our
you're drinking
summer.
as well?
Yeah, it's our summer seasonal release.
I'm almost done with mine. We haven't even talked about it. It's great. I've always
super tasty.
I've had this beer many times. Great beer.
Yeah, we did it for the first time in 2020. When nobody was even thinking about dry hopped pilsners. We took a traditional German pilsner, dry hopped it with a Zaka and Citra, made it West Coast style, and called it Hella Pills.
It's really good.
And it's just simple, easy drinking beer.
Is there anything on tap that's one of those? Didn't you say y'all recreated 4 of those?
Yep. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we have the Magnolia Bock, which is a recreation of the original Bock. And so the Bock that we have is the recipe from the original Magnolia Brewing, which was being brewed in the early 1900s. So in a lot of ways, it's one of the original Texas bocks that exist. And then we also have Grand Select, which is Southern Select. And then that's all we have on at the moment.
Which one
last
should we
year
try?
we had
'Cause I want to
Richelieu.
try one of those.
I want to try the Bach.
You want to try the
Yeah,
Bach?
the Bach.
I'll try the Select, and then I'll try.
Okay.
The
Sounds good.
Notes. Yeah, those are. But everybody's been gushing on the Bach.
I'm gonna go grab one right now.
Okay.
'Cause it's a fun beer. People really enjoy that, and it's
Yeah.
rare. Like you don't see it. I mean, although InBev right now is making a big push to bring back Ziegenbach by way of Karbach.
Really?
Yeah. So Ziegenbach was the largest beer brand in North America in 1993 when they
Really?
originally released it. Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
And it took over because there wasn't a really good brown beer option
Yeah.
of that quality
Yeah.
in the marketplace. And then Ziegenbach came along, and everybody was like, great, I don't have to drink clear beer anymore. It's brown beer.
Right.
So people gushed over it. It had a fantastic run, and then it just kind of like faded out in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then InBev discontinued it. Back then it was Budweiser, but then no. InBev.
Yeah.
And now they're bringing it back by way of Karbach.
Are they going to bring back Ziegenbach Festival?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they actually
That's
are.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of we opened with the notion that Texans love a good brown beer, whether it's an amber,
Yeah.
whether it's an amber lager, an amber ale, or otherwise.
Yeah.
And
Think
we
so?
we,
Oh,
we,
it's good.
we
It's
opened
dark.
with an amber ale. And
Should I cut you one?
sorry, not an amber ale. No. We opened with a Czech amber, which is our Czech lager. And we've had that in the market ever since, and it does really well in like the suburbs of Houston.
Okay, yeah. That I get
It's dad
totally
beer.
get that.
It's
Yeah.
dad beer
Yeah,
all the way.
Decca has beers like that
Yeah.
that do better on the outskirts of town than they do on the inner loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Our red ale.
we skew a little older here age wise, and we get a lot of old like dads and grandfathers that come in. They're like, I just need a good solid brown beer. I'm like,
Yeah.
we got you, man.
You got a brown beer
Yeah.
right there. I got a dinosaur beer right here. I don't know
Yeah,
if
that's
you've seen this thing. This
That's
is
for
my
sure.
Welcome to.
So I was gonna say about Ziegenbach was that was my go-to college days beer for kegs. I had a keg shell, and I started getting it filled with Ziegenbach, and people would come to the party and they're like, "What made you get Ziegenbach?" I'm like, first of all, it tastes better than Bud Light or any of the shit that y'all
What year
wanted.
was Magnolia again?
But it was also cheaper too. It was also a little cheaper as well. So that was kind of one of the things that I liked about it was that it was cheap and it gets you a little bit more toasty and it tasted better.
Yep. Yeah.
What year
Yeah.
was Magnolia open again?
1895 to 1935.
So this is what a prehistoric beer tastes
That would
like.
be that's a
This is what
pre-prohibition.
people were drinking in that
Yeah,
time period.
that's a pre-pro. These are both pre-pro lagers.
Cheers.
That is excellent.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's tasty.
I gotta
Cheers.
try that thing. I don't know how we're gonna do that. You're so far away from
It's
me.
really, yeah, it's okay. We'll
You guys
we'll
need
get
to
up
get, like,
and
long
I'm gonna drink a couple of
straws.
sips of this and then we'll trade. This is super tasty. I'm getting a little bit of like the yeast is giving me a little like kind of there's some fruit in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it's really it's little undertones of something fruity.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's a fun beer. It's got a nice it's got that nice character up front.
God.
And then it dries out on the background.
Does, yeah.
It's got a firm mouthfeel on it. So it's a good beer. Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly dry, yeah.
Yeah. So this year was the first year we did an actual 15-barrel batch of it. Last year we just did a 1-barrel just for the event. But we put it in cans, and then we sell here out of the tap room, and then we have it on draft. We didn't release it to the market because last year we released Southern Select to the market, and we sold 30 barrels of that in 2 weeks to the Houston market. And
What
Yeah.
style beer is this again?
it's a lager.
It's a lager. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the beer swap.
Yeah, beer swap. You got it?
And so
Me and Casey partied last night over at City Acre. He was doing a music bingo, and I popped up with my wife and
Yeah.
got a couple beers, had a good meal
It was a
there.
packed house in there too. I was really
It
excited
was-
to see a lot of
yeah,
people in
that's
there.
awesome.
For City Acre, man, they packed that place out. Had the bays open. It was a little
Okay.
warm in there. I was
It
sweating,
was a little- I was
but
sweating.
we had a great time.
I had a great time. I had a Jolly Rancher sour, and I had their Kolsch. They called the Altuve.
Yeah, Ale Tuve.
Yeah, and I had another.
Kitschy
I had
little
the
name.
3-day weekend, which is like the double splat from Ingenious.
Yeah, 3-day weekend's what I drank, and yeah, it's a recreation of double splat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say it was a good time, man. I had a fun time hanging out with you.
It was good. You had really good times.
Casey does a really good music bingo.
Yeah, man. Do you guys ever do any sort of music bingo events here?
We did bingo last night. Not music, just regular old school bingo, just for some, just to kind of do something fun with our yacht rock theme. And but we've done music bingo in the past. It's been pretty well received. But because we have the lodge here, the SPJST Czech Lodge, they do bingo on Thursday night. It draws like 800 people.
It's a huge bingo hall.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge.
And
It's been doing it for years, too.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to compete with bingo on Thursday night.
I could see that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that till you said it, and I was like,
And then Eureka runs bingo after Run Club. So it's like I'm competing with two separate bingo events.
So that's why you're going outside the box. What are you doing today? He was like painting the floor with some like.
So,
black lights.
Earlier
you were
this
putting in all the lamps.
Yeah, so I'll get into that. So earlier this year, I had this idea that I've got to embrace all that is summer, hot, and everything else, and people being transient and coming and going. And I said, you know what? We're just going to celebrate July and August, which are notoriously the two hardest months in craft beer for most venues. And we're going to embrace it by doing a yacht rock theme summer long party. And so what we've done in the brewery here in the tap room, we've brought in a slushy machine and we put our sour on there. We're doing frosés.
I saw you were doing that.
Yeah, it's super yummy. And then we're doing like beers that have like tropical flavor tones and hop profiles that are tropical, and giving them just fun little like breakside and surfside names and beach names. And then
very cool.
We are doing themed events. And tonight we're doing a glow party at 8:30 when the sun goes down. We'll turn off all the lights and turn on all the black lights. And people will get glow gear and glow sticks and all of that get up.
That's
and
fun.
We have live music, and he'll transition to a little fun.
Oh, right on.
Fun music.
Where is that at?
Yeah, the music. He'll set up right here.
Okay, cool.
Really cool.
And he'll play his originals and whatever else he's got. And then I've painted the room. That's what you were referring to,
you were doing that one
Brandon. Yeah, so I bought phosphorus, like powdered phosphorus, that it glows in the dark once it's hit with a black light, and all you have to do is mix it with water. And so I put messages on the floor and splashed it around, so it'll glow bright.
Yeah,
in here.
I saw a smiley face.
Yeah, a big smiley face and some other stuff. And so it's just a fun way to, again, embrace summer. Last weekend, we did Friday night movie, and we watched a movie, and we had about 40 people who came in and put the movie on the big screen, and we just kind of turned all the couches and made it like theater set up, and put the sound on and did that.
And if you want to, you could totally play some Celine Dion and go have like your photo taken right here at the bow of the boat.
Right, yeah.
And like
Titanic
have your arms out
night?
like Leo and what's her name?
People keep coming in. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my photo. Can you take my photo?" And then they send it to their friends and they're like, "Look where we're at. We're in the Caribbean."
Yeah.
It looks really good. I mean, it really looks like you're on the front of a boat.
We should take a picture there. I do want to take one.
Yeah, it's a cool photo spot. And
I'm
sure if you edit it just right, you could probably make it look pretty real.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah. It
So
looks good.
So we're just trying to embrace summer. We put insulation in the building on our upper portion of the warehouse, like of the building that we're in, and so we did that 2 weeks ago, and now the temperatures in here are like high 70s, low 80s all day long. So we've kind of, and it's dry. We don't have the humidity issues that we're having. So we're still slowly conquering the outdoors inside here by making the weather, making it like comfortable for folks. And how do y'all feel right now in here?
Feels great.
I feel pretty great.
I could see if the sun was out like fully and it's cooking. I think earlier you said that it sometimes gets 70.
Yeah, it gets in the upper set. We can get it into the like 76, 78.
Yeah, but it feels good. You got fans moving air. Yeah, I feel great in here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're looking to like close in our outdoor patio with our covered patio on the north side of the building in the next few weeks, and then put AC in there too, so that then people can be both inside, outside, and it's an extension of the tap room, and it'll make the room look a little bit bigger because we have our feather bowling table over there, which kind of like takes up a lot of space, and we have this great outdoor space, but you can't go out there because it's too hot. But close it in the right way and drop some AC into it, it'll work.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's what's up. So, are there any other events beyond?
Well, they got the Astral Run Club now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
There's a sign
inherited.
behind me. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we inherited Astral Run Club from the North Shepherd Wind Down, and it's been great. They're a well-run, fun club. They've got their act together. They've been at it for a number of years. They probably got 100+ runners.
Wow.
They come through Wednesday night. They do it right. They show up. They sign in. They get their photo. They all launch at the same time. They all come back sporadically, and then they all have a beer or two or three and sit around and talk and take another photo and give out prizes. And
That's cool.
it's great. And I don't have to run it,
Yeah.
which is even better as the owner. I don't. Yeah, that's one less hat I have to wear.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have them here.
And
really
you had
enjoy
your own
them.
run club, but they just kind of.
Yeah, we had a run club that was started by a brewery friend, and it was going pretty well. And then I had to start taking it over, and then somebody else took it over, and then they moved away, and then they came back, and
And
it's
then
just.
you had to like manage it.
And then I said I quit.
Yeah.
The third time around for me, I was like, I quit. I can't do it anymore.
But now the people that were a part of that have joined the Astral.
Yeah,
Okay.
so our old run club is now running with the Astral Run Club.
Cool.
And maybe they were running with them all along because there are more people up there at North Shepherd than there were here on a run night.
I heard Astral had like a really great run club.
They do. I mean, it's tremendous.
Oh, it's yours now.
Yeah, it is ours. And they're self-sufficient, which is
That's
a
awesome.
blessing.
Yeah,
a
that's nice
blessing.
when they can just kind of do their own thing. And
You
you don't
just
have
want a
to-
cool place to hang, and this
Yeah.
is a cool place.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And we don't have any issues with parking.
Can anybody just join the run club? or
Absolutely.
How do you
Yep.
join the run club?
Just show up and say, I want to run.
Okay.
Run,
Oh, word,
walk,
yeah.
To run.
That's
run,
cool.
walk, or crawl.
Yeah.
They'll
You have
take
fun with that, Brandon. I'll support you.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not a run club guy either.
So, are y'all doing anything for White Linen Night?
We're not. So, we've tried in the past, but unfortunately, we're a little too far off the beaten path
Yeah.
to really capture any audience from
You
there.
get the overhang, maybe.
Yeah. We've even tried like the Dirty Linen Next Day events.
That's
which are, right, and have people come in and do mimosas and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's just
That's
so many people come in from outside to do White Linen that they're not really all neighborhood focused
Oh,
anyway.
really? Okay.
So you can't get them to return the next day, and then the neighborhood people are just like,
Isn't that interesting? Like, you think of an idea, that's a great idea. Immediately when you said it, I was like, that's a great idea. But then to your point, you don't realize, like, I don't realize, because I'm not usually here for those events, but I used to work at Crisp, so I remember seeing people come in after the fact, all kind of hosed down already. But, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. You have a great idea for an event, but it still kind of turns into a flop for whatever reason, even though that was a great idea.
I mean, we can have a million great ideas. It's just you gotta. I always have to say, it's my idea, but and then I have to switch hats and say I'm the person who's going to do it. Why do I want to do it? And like, what's
Right.
going to make me come, and what's
Yeah.
unique about it, what's different. And I think the more you capture the moments of your events and share them with the world, the more people believe in those events and get on board, and they show
Yep.
up more often.
Yep.
And it's hard because that's the hardest part about being in an ownership and management and all hands role is like you show up at 7, you want to go home at some point, and I have to stay till 10 o'clock at night to capture the events
Yeah.
and post about them and everything else and get involved. And
Mhm.
and I'm very conscious about not getting consumed by the alcohol component of the industry, and not letting myself fall victim to alcoholism and things of that nature, because it is very easy to let that happen to oneself in this industry.
Yep.
And I just, sometimes I just have to regulate so that I can avoid any of that behavior. It's easy to fall into those patterns, and for a lot of people, it can change their lives. And I've made it a point to not let that affect me, and
Yeah.
so I can run a business and be clear-headed and be there for my
But
family.
you're wearing so many hats. You do so many things for New Magnolia. I mean, I've
do.
seen you out there in the selling.
18 months I was on the
He was
street
out there with
selling.
us just selling. Were you with us out there?
I don't think I was on the train at that point. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he was out there every single Tuesday with
That's
us,
cool.
going to all the downtown spots himself, selling New Magnolia.
Right on. Okay.
And running this place, and
Yeah.
making beer, and doing all
And
the things.
and social media, and
Yeah.
So you do the social media.
I do all of our social media, website maintenance. I do all of our event planning.
And that, wow.
I do all the outward-facing activities. Like, so we've been asked to do several things around Texas for different film and movie industry events, different beer festivals. And so I'm either like the person that goes and attends, or I set it up and then I manage it through the finish line. And then I kind of make sure everybody here in-house is taken care of, and I manage all of our distribution still. So I did it to begin with. So yeah, I mean, I'm and then if something breaks or needs to be fixed, I'm the first person
He
to
does
take care of it.
everything. I mean, you got a team behind you, but you are the glue that makes this place work.
What'd you do before this?
I came out of commercial real estate, finance, and investment banking. So I was a desk jockey for a number of years, about 14 years, and then I was a management consultant before that.
Right on. That's cool.
Yeah, so I did a complete life reboot in 2019 to take on this challenge as an owner-operator, because I believed in what craft beer was going to become in the state of Texas.
Because you're from Florida originally.
From New York originally, but grew up in Florida.
You grew up
okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I've got a little East Coast,
Yeah.
under my belt.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I always wanted to have a widget that I could build and then market and brand and grow. I never knew what my widget was going to be, and then beer found me kind of by accident. And then I kind of just did the research and really started to understand it and saw the opportunity for Texas and then for craft beer in Texas and Houston specifically. And I was like, if there's any point in time to do something of this nature, it's now in 2019. When we started in 2015, actually planning all of this.
Wow.
Right after the legislation changed. And in 2017, we were already making beer and grassrooting throughout the entire Heights neighborhood. I mean, we were just selling and giving away beer, not selling, but giving away beer to people in Woodlands, everywhere from the Woodland, Kingwood, League City, Katy, to all inside the Inner Loop. Like, we were doing events for people, parties, like
That's
just
awesome.
all grassroots from 2017 to 2019.
That's very cool.
And then we
That is
opened in
cool.
2019. And I mean, the day we opened, the line was all the way out the door, through the parking lot, and down the street.
Wait,
Hell
what
yeah.
was the day you opened?
November, I want to say 21st, 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
Saturday. We opened on a Saturday. The weekend before Thanksgiving, so that we could take that Thanksgiving break off and figure out what the hell we were
Reassess.
doing. Reassess.
Because
Yeah.
there's always
Get our
kinks.
breath.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got to mention what everybody's thinking right now. 4 months later, COVID happens.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It was both a blessing and a curse, right? So it was the longest soft opening,
Yeah.
right? We took full advantage of the market and the public's perception of forgiveness if we made any mistakes, and we made a few. And what it did push us into was the grocery segment, and 16-ounce cans almost immediately. With 2020, by June of 2020, we were 9 labels deep for cans, 16-ounce cans, and everybody was just like, I'm desperate for work, so I got everything at 25 cents on the dollar, from artwork, planning, designing, the whole 9 yards. And then all the grocery stores were like, bring all the beer you got, like Kroger and H-E-B.
Because
and
everybody,
Heights.
Texas was drinking during
Right.
COVID. We were drinking.
Yeah.
I know I was drinking.
I was too.
And so all the grocery stores were like, 200 cases, drop them off tomorrow. And we were like, take them. You got them. So American Canning was
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
y'all actually
So
you
we
didn't
rolled.
just survive in COVID. Y'all flourished.
Thrived.
We were able to maintain without imploding.
Was it always this
Wow.
location?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Always will be. This is it. Right. On an acre of dirt in the Heights, I got tons of expansion opportunity here.
Would you have gone into distribution so fast if not for COVID?
We wanted to wait 2 years
Yeah.
and just fully focus on the tap room,
Yeah.
and COVID forced us into distribution.
It forced you. That's how
Yeah.
you were like, but you did well because of it.
Well, we had full tanks. We had a walk-in cooler with 80 kegs of beer that we were waiting to debut for our grand opening.
Yeah.
So everybody else is like, I can't make beer, I can't get grain, I can't get materials, can't get supplies, so I can't get my people in the office. We're like bars and restaurants that had the ability to sell product and have, patronage. We're like, we'll take all the beer you can give us. And we were like, okay, cool. And so Hallie,
couldn't keep it stocked.
our friend Hallie, who used to be over at Eighth Wonder, the taproom manager there, and she's like an OG beer sales rep for Houston.
Yeah.
She came over here and she's like, oh, I'll go out and sell. I'll use all my contacts. And she went out and just sold everything.
Wow.
And she crushed it.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that kind of got us going.
I've never heard that. I've known you for a minute now.
Yeah.
When did I meet you? It was at Saloon Door.
Yeah.
And it was Sylvia's Beer Festival.
Yep.
What was that? The first one they did at Saloon Door.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Geez, that was 2021 or 2.
21 or 22?
Yeah.
What event was it?
It was
their
the block party, the craft beer
block party.
Houston beer block party. It was the first one, and it was at Saloon Door. And I met you, and so I'm gonna confess to something. So I was a vendor for F Your Liver, and she said that I wasn't allowed to drink. She said vendors weren't allowed, and I love you, Sylvia, but I just thought that was dumb. And I was like, I'm going to drink at a beer festival, and I went around and I just started talking to the different breweries, and Shayn was super cool, and he was just feeding me drinks under the table the whole time.
I would have done the same.
I hope I didn't get you in trouble either.
No, it was fine. That was a fun day.
Because I'm sorry, I wanted to tell this part. This is what I was leading up to. I know what you're about to go into, and yes, there was it was like a relay race.
Yeah, competition.
And it was like beer pong, quarters, and hula hoop or something like that.
Yeah.
And Bobby from Back Pew did it, and you did it. Who else did it?
Oh, Chris, Val. The Saloon Door folks. I mean, I think probably like 8 people, 10 people, maybe.
Yeah, like big craft beer people.
Yeah.
And Shayn kicked all their fucking asses.
Yeah.
Tell them how you kicked their asses, Shayn.
Quarters and beer pong. I hit all 3 balls into the cup, one after another.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I got a bonus point for all 3. It was apparently a very large bonus for all 3 because I kind of sucked at the other stuff.
Yeah.
But I got me the win.
Whatever works.
You got a trophy or something?
Yeah, a little thumbs up. It's like a little wooden thumb like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's sitting up there.
I knew that the moment when I saw you do that, I'm like, this is a cool motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
I tried. It was fun. It was a hot day, so I had to make the most of what was going on out there.
Yeah.
It was a good night.
That's cool. Yeah. No, I met you at the Pink Boots event at Bad Astronaut. That was last summer.
Yep.
Yeah, we ended up, it was after the event was kind of over and everybody's kind of milling around, hanging out, and just drinking and hanging out. And we talked for about an hour, I feel like. Talked for a little while and just getting to know each other, talking about what they're doing here and stuff like that. It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to be out in the industry and see folks and go out and connect with everybody. I think too many owners step too far away from the social engagement of their business and their industry.
Agreed.
And they become disconnected with what's going on out there, and they don't make themselves accessible to others in the industry, and they don't have their ear to the ground, and in a lot of ways they're just they're like, I own it, I should just be able to do what I want. And truth of the matter is I'm just here to serve my customer base, and just make the most of what I can from an ownership perspective. And I have a duty and obligation to participate actively at all levels with everybody around me.
I see you at all the events. If you're here, you're hosting and shaking people's hands. You're very you're the face, and you're very active in being that.
Yeah. It's important. It's very important.
Very important.
Yeah.
And very involved in the craft beer scene itself, and involved with other craft breweries.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do my part. And
are y'all doing Murky this year?
We are. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll give that a go again.
I really liked
Tom's
your Murky
a genius.
last year.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's I kind of well, I think we got second or third place for our Murky beer. But you know, I think I've hurt Tom's feelings when I said this isn't typically the beer we make or what we're known for, but I'm happy to take your award.
That's funny. I mean, so what was y'all's murky called?
Matrix. Murky Matrix.
Yeah,
Okay.
they had all the code behind it.
Right on.
Yeah. So really, I'll be honest, like all we did was take WYSIWYG and we just doubled the grain bill and made it
a double.
big ABV. That
Yeah.
was it. Made it a double IPA.
Yeah, it has to be a double dry hop, double hazy IPA.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
I mean, because again, we're like, let's not try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
We got one that works really well. Let's just grow it a little bigger.
Yeah.
And now we've learned a few things that a lot of breweries are doing with these big hazies on the East Coast and West Coast, and how they're like really changing the hazy
profile
market and profile and paradigm. Yeah.
I think the Houston profile has a lot to do with Spindle Tap and Ghost in the Machine, that relationship that they had whenever they did the Operation Juice Drop.
I see that.
I think a lot of that has to do with the Houston's palate on hazies, wanting a little bit more of that bitterness that you don't really get out of a real New England hazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's we say it, and I think this is my biased belief, but the water profiling on the beer design is the most critical part of it, and we use a Vermont water profile for our beers, just like we use water profiling for all of our beers, wherever the beer originated from in the country or the world.
So I actually really wanted to dig into this whole water thing. I think right now would be a good time to take a break and then come back and talk about the water profiling and all that stuff. I really want to dig into that.
Let's do it.
That's going to be a whole thing we talked about.
I really am excited to hear, because when I met you, that was one of the things we talked about and to this day, I still just found that a very valuable
let's save
experience.
it for that part.
We'll take a break.
Because you're right, it is a good time to take a break. We'll come back, talk water profiling. Woo! Beer Someone, episode 13, here at New Magnolia. Hello, and welcome to Spider Games. A few years ago, I started selling a couple video games on eBay. Now I'm selling video games of all generations, retro toys, and anything I think's cool. I'm a top-rated seller because I package well and I take care of my customers. Check out my store on eBay. It's called Spider Games. Do you have any old video games sitting around? I buy video games of all generations, and I pay better than the game stores. If you do, email me at spidergamesebay@gmail.com.
I'm also known as DJ Sino. You can find me at least a couple of different breweries or craft beer bars throughout the month, hosting the best music bingo in all of Houston. We'll be sharing those shenanigans right here on the Beer Someone podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Casey. We're back at New Magnolia. Brandon's here. Shayn's here. New Magnolia. We just decided we're going to open this second segment up with, we're going to talk a little bit about water treatment and water profiles at New Magnolia.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big part of our brewing philosophy. Is we focus on taking the crappy Houston tap water and making it a water profile that matches where that beer came from. So, with Houston water having so much sediment and chlorine in it, it's just not a very good starting base for high quality beer, right? And there's a lot of thought to be had about water management, water quality, and people are always like, well, the beer in Colorado is just so fantastic, and the beer in Florida is just so fantastic. And then once you know what you know, you're like, well, it's IPAs and stouts in Florida that are fantastic because the water there is hard and it's like ideal for that quality of beer, that style. Up in the northeast, they got all that great water coming in from the Adirondacks, and it's like really purified and high quality. You don't have to do anything to it. In Colorado, you got that natural mountain water, and the water out there is fantastic. California, I mean, I don't know how they do it because they're always in a drought, but they got good water too somehow.
Yeah.
But we pride ourselves on taking a very scientific step through water processing and water treatment. We take all of it and we run it through. All of our Houston water goes to a heavy sediment and then a micronic filtration, water softener, the charcoal, and then a reverse osmosis.
Water on us right now.
Yeah, we're getting.
Rain.
And you want to know what? All of the Houston water, you know where it all comes from? Rain. It all is coming from Lake Conroe, Lake Houston, or rain that comes through the area, because we have no natural water sources in the entire Houston market.
How's that coming through? Can you hear?
It sounds fine.
Sounds fine. Okay.
It's coming a little harder now.
I'm having a hard time hearing, but I'm sure it sounds good on the podcast.
Yeah, we're getting a nice.
It sounds fine
nice
on the
little
microphone.
downpour.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna lean in a little bit.
Yeah, and so with knowing where the water comes from and the fact that you have to chlorinate the water so much in Houston, and what people don't realize about Houston infrastructure is a lot of the water lines actually sit below sewer lines in the city of Houston because of all the earthwork that's been done and site work that's been done all around, and a lot of it's just old, and they can't replace it because we don't have the financial wherewithal in the Houston water and sewer management districts to take care of everything. And so every time we have a flood, all the sewer rises up into the water that's above it, because water is supposed to be above it. And in a lot of areas, water is below sewage. And so it's just a no-win situation. And so what they do, and I just learned this because I have a friend who's in the Houston Water District or Water Municipality, they have to chlorinate water at the source or at the starting point, so that the chlorination level will reach the termination point on the trunk line of the water.
Yeah.
So if you've got water starting at point A and point B is a mile and a half away, they have to put enough chlorine to get to 1 mile, 1.5 miles away at point B. So just imagine everybody in that line of consumption that's drinking all that chlorine all the way to the finish line.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing beer, you don't want all that. And so you've got to get rid of it all. And people tell me all the time, they're like, I just drink all this beer and my stomach hurts because I drink IPAs. And I'm like, well, what's the brewery or what's the venue? And they tell me, and I'm like, well, you're drinking a hoppy beer, which is an alpha acid, right, for the hop. And then you're compounding that effect with chlorine in the water that isn't getting ripped out. And so you've got a double hopped beer, in effect, that your biology in your stomach cannot process efficiently. And so you're really hungover and you got a really bad stomach ache the next day and you feel like crap. And it's because it's a double whammy. And I tell people all the time, I go, the water here at New Magnolia, and I will challenge anybody to this. If you come here and you drink as many beers as you want, you might be a little hungover the next day, but you're not going to have biodietary issues the next day. You're not going to be throwing up. You're not going to be peeing out your butt. I mean, you're
that's a real thing.
Be able to recoup pretty quick. And I can tell you that there's not a lot of breweries in the Houston market that take care of their water well enough to be able to make that statement that I just made about being able to recoup.
Yeah. No, I think you're right, man. I think it's awesome. We got to speak with John a little bit at Bloomfest about it, and apparently he says he has, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's like y'all have vials of water from different locations.
Well, yeah, so yes, we have done that. And then also all water municipalities have to publish their water quality results on their
okay, so there's just
annual
information
testing.
that you can gather.
So it's all public information because the public is consuming the water. So anywhere we want to replicate a beer from, it's like when we make WYSIWYG and we get the Vermont water profile, we just picked a town in Vermont that had like a concentration of breweries and looked at their water profile and said, okay, if that's the beer from there, then we're going to mimic that water profile. And then we're going to build the beer around the water to make sure it drinks and tastes like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same thing goes for like all of our German Pilsners and any other beer that we do. Like our Grodzisky, we use a water profile from the town of Grodzisky in
That's
Europe
awesome.
and the Czech, right? And so we match that water profile so that we can import the grains from that region and the hops from that region, and then we give you the water, the grains, and the hops when we make the beer. The only thing that's missing is that you're like not there in that region. You're here in Houston drinking that beer. And we do that with every single beer we make.
So even your Italian Pilsner, which is I tried to order it. You guys don't have it on tap currently, but that's it's one of the ones that I tried first here.
Yep.
I really enjoy that beer. It's a great starter beer for me. I like to start light and then kind of move up.
You enjoying your Bock?
I am, man. It's so good. I was texting my wife about it a second ago.
What do you think of this one?
I thought it was great as well. I can't remember. I was so zoned in on this as I was drinking it. You were explaining to Brandon what was going on with that one, and I was not listening.
So the Grand Select, just so y'all know, is a 6-row grain bill with a small percentage of Pilsen malt, just to soften it and round it out, because the 6-row, which would have been most commonly used back in the early 1900s because of it being farmed here in the Midwest or here in the Texas, like North Texas region, and that's what we tried to duplicate when we recreated that beer, because that's what it called for from the original recipe.
North Texas, you said?
Well, like north of Texas, like Oklahoma up to the Midwest.
How are they getting that water?
No, the Pilsen malt. So it would have been 6-row malt and a little Pilsen malt. And then the water profile, actually the original Magnolia Brewery had 3 artisanal wells that they had tapped.
That's what
downtown.
that's where my question was at.
Yeah. No, so their water profile was coming out of the water from underneath city downtown Houston.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And how were y'all able to gather that information?
That was just kind of in the public domain.
Really? Even the water profile of something from...
Yeah, it's all recorded history.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So y'all like secretly historians, like you're just...
Well,
really,
I mean,
you're keeping it alive.
I guess it comes from a love of history, right?
Yeah, it's also when, it's like, it's your origin story.
Yeah.
And when your origin story can go back to the beginning of something else,
Yeah.
then it becomes a much more intriguing and
it is
and well-founded in past, and people are intrigued by the past. And so us being able to amplify that effect now in the present has really helped us and really illuminated a lot of people. Like now we've got to deal with the Houston Heritage Society, where they have all these great archival data points and information, and we're going to be working with them to add to their collection, but also to take out of their collection information about all the original participants.
So you're gonna you want to bring some more beers back?
More history of what beer was.
Okay.
So like, Frosttown sits on a historic beer plot, right? And there were several historic beer areas or like little plots of land in the northeast downtown Houston market, everywhere from where Magnolia Brewery was all the way to where Frosttown was.
Okay.
And there's a little snippet of information for all of them, because they were all owned by these Eastern European families that came over and had farms there, and they made their own beer. And then for like the Italian farmer had his Italian family and friends, and they made their beer the way they made it. And then the Germans and the Czech and everybody else, they all made it according to what their heritage was.
Yeah.
And that all existed downtown.
Which is probably a lot more true to style than like when, so-and-so brewery does like a German lager. Sometimes, it's not always true to style.
I just feel like I went back in time as he was describing it.
Yeah.
That must have been a sight.
I'm loving the history on this.
I
love it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's really cool. We're really trying to, over the next couple years, to elevate the historical significance of Houston and Texas beer, so that the connectivity between the Eastern Europeans that made Texas what it is, because when you really step back and kind of take full view of Texas, you come to realize that all these little towns that are named after European towns were because we had a tremendous influx of German, Czech, Polish, Irish, all of the EU heritage were coming to Texas because they weren't finding work in the Northeast and in the Midwest Chicago region. So they were coming down here for agriculture, for the ship channel, and for railroad, which was expanding rapidly. And they brought with them all their cultural significance and preferences, And that's why you have like all these Czech lodges and Polish lodges and Italian lodges, and you get kolaches, and you've got, I mean, there's just a million things you can point your finger at that came from borrowed culture.
Yeah.
But and then you're like, what's left over was what was really original Texans or original Texas. Yeah. Right? And so it's funny because I always tell people, like, nobody really thinks of Houston until after the oil embargo of the 70s and 80s took place. It was only then that people stopped saying, "Oh, Houston is just a tumbleweed town," and then it became an oil and gas town, right? But really, like, prior to 1970, there is like very little appreciation for what Houston was onto its own. Now, during the 30s and prior into the early 1900s, Houston was a burgeoning and very significant, important port, and agriculture and railroad, and so like Galveston was actually the mini Wall Street of the South. So it had more money in it and more exchange of currency and wealth going through Galveston, and this was like in the late early 1900s, than even New York City did at the time.
Really?
And so
That's
people just don't really think about Houston and Texas prior to a certain point in time.
Yeah.
But there's this incredible culture, incredible history, incredible background that we feel responsible for bringing to the forefront and talking about and telling and educating and just kind of like bringing it to the public's eyes so that they can enjoy it and appreciate what it is.
That's really cool.
And
That's
because we
super
are
cool.
still a melting pot city, and because we are that, I think people have a deeper interest in understanding what really made Houston what it is today.
But another thing to tack on to what I was, in lieu of that, what I was getting to also was that you recreated the water profile, which I think goes back to what we originally started talking in this conversation.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. You recreated a beer from history, the historical beer. It's not just one, 4.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. I was texting my wife about it a second ago because, like I said, we have a kind of
We're
a special
drinking
place
history right now, dude. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool,
You made
and
this.
it's great.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, that's what we label it. We
You're
all
Jeff Goldblum,
all of our marketing is drink the past.
I know Jeff Goldblum had nothing to do with like actually creating the dinosaurs. I can't think of a more significant character from the franchise other than John Hammond and John's. So who would you be from Jurassic Park? Samuel L. Jackson?
No.
I'm sorry.
I think I'd be T-Rex.
You be the T-Rex?
Fucking shit up.
Yeah, I'm fucking shit up in the beer scene. There we go.
I like what you're doing. I really do. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. No, I love this. I love the history behind all this, and like getting this, drink this, and know that this is what was brewed at one point or another in Houston.
That's cool.
More than a century ago.
You made me learn a lot about this industry that I love so much.
Yeah.
Right now, I didn't know every single thing you said, and that I knew some of those things. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's still even more layers to the onion.
Can you name some of the other breweries? Actually, I'm curious.
What do you mean?
You said there was a couple breweries.
Well, so they're long since gone. They were like family farms, right?
Yeah.
That existed, and it would have been the name of the last name of the person that owned the farm.
So Watson Brewing.
Potentially, right? I mean, any number of like little farm plots down there that were staked out that they would have been making their own beer. So they made beer because the water was so bad because there was no sanitation, right?
Yeah.
And so they didn't have a way to get rid of all the human waste.
Yeah.
And the human waste was just leaching into the ground, mixing with the water table that they were drinking, or their water was coming up through the ship
It's
channel.
healthier to drink beer than water.
Right.
At a
So
certain point.
they made the beer because it was clean water in effect, right? And so that was like instead of just drinking boring old water, they added nutrient to it because they had the harvest and they had the ability to dress up the water to make it better. But I mean, like the other thing that people don't realize is like modern air conditioning was invented in Houston, right? By Hugh Hamilton, and Hugh Hamilton was the guy who actually started Magnolia Brewing back in 1895 because he could produce more ice than anybody else, so he could lager a year all.
So that was the other thing.
Round.
They manufactured ice.
Yeah, Houston Ice and Brewing Company, HIBCO.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I got a history lesson today.
So during Prohibition, that's what they did. They just focused on ice, right?
No, they converted the entire brewery to dairy manufacturing.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So all of the brewing equipment easily can be used for dairy and
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Wow.
I missed that
manufacturing.
part of it. Yeah, that part of the history.
So
It's cool.
they took all the corporate offices and all the other back office space and they turned it into a hotel. Then they turned the brewery itself into a dairy manufacturing, and they were making dairy product, butter, yogurt, yeah. And they were selling all
Probably a
that.
little bit. Yeah.
It was a huge operation, right? Correct. It
was,
took
yeah.
up that whole block almost. I think.
It was I want to say 24 acres
Shit.
of land downtown.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
They had they were producing about 250,000 barrels of beer a year.
Yeah, like the event space is nothing compared to what the brewery was.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
brewery was
Yeah,
massive.
yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah,
had
yeah.
stables. They had a whole fleet
That's
of
so
carriages
cool,
and
man.
horses.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
cool.
It was incredibly
Things if I
well
could
run.
go back in time and see that was just added to my
Yeah,
list.
and
Yeah.
but this is like kind of you're bringing it to life, and like that's something to be proud of.
Yeah,
really cool.
it's fun. I wish more people would take time to really process it and absorb it, as opposed to just kind of glancing over it and being like, "Oh, you're the brewery that is from the past, right?" Or you're
Yeah.
worse off, you're the brewery in Magnolia.
I need to bring. I have a book. It's a Houston craft beer book, and I can't remember the author. Can't remember the title.
Ronnie
But
Crocker,
you probably know exactly who it is. I met him. He signed the book.
Houston Beer History.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I
it's-
have the
it's
book,
by
and that's
Ronnie
where I read
Crocker.
about the Magnolia Brewery stuff.
Yeah.
And I have that book. I should bring it next time we do a podcast so you can check it out.
I want
But
to look at the.
I think
might
we
just
should.
buy it. Can I buy it somewhere? Where can I
I'm
buy-
sure you can find it online.
Amazon?
I'm positive you can. There's no way that's not accessible.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to check out the book.
It's a really cool book, but yeah, that might be a great. If somebody's really interested in what we're talking about, they could maybe find that book very very helpful to learn some more.
Totally. Yeah, it does a nice job of kind of going through the history and documenting and explaining everything. I mean,
What was the name again of the author?
Ronnie Crocker.
Ronnie Crocker. Yeah.
He used to be the Houston Business, the Houston Chronicle editor in chief.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah.
I met him at a beer event, and I bought his book, and he signed the book. I was drunk when I bought it, of course, and he was so cool. He's really nice. I read most of the book, but I mean, I read it years ago, so most of what I remembered was the beginning of the book when he talks about Magnolia Brewing and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a good job documenting all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I want to
It's
read
really
it
cool.
now.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
We'll have to
Yeah.
bust it. I'll bring it to you. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
So I do want to change the topic a little bit.
Okay.
Dramatically.
Shifting gears.
We did a podcast 2 weeks ago from today at For the Culture Brewing, Craft Culture X, one more time.
Ovenik.
Ovenik.
Ovinik,
Whatever.
the three-eyed witch cat.
Yeah. And we talked about kids and families,
Cheerins.
breweries, and we posted it on all the social media platforms, and we got a response from TikTok, and they do not agree with what we said on the podcast, which is that families should be allowed at breweries. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about all that, but more than anything, I want to get your personal take on that opinion of mine.
Yeah,
Casey's.
So tell me what your opinion was that you.
Casey, what were your words?
I think if you are a fan of breweries and you enjoy breweries, then you should shut the fuck up about whether or not kids are allowed in breweries. I think you should just be okay with them being there. They're part of what helps the breweries to do well and prosper right now, especially in this difficult market that we're in.
Families are continuing to support breweries.
Families
now,
are
we're not
supporting
saying,
breweries.
And I do want to clarify.
Watch your kids, though.
Watch your kids. Your kids cannot run rampant throughout the brewery.
Yeah.
And we explained that whole thing in the podcast, but
Yeah.
we released it as a minute and 30-second clip. It didn't have all that information.
Right. It was very short.
But we did say, yes, the parents must watch their own children. My kids, when we're sitting at a table, are in their seats on their tablets. They're not behind the bar. They're not messing with other patrons.
Yeah.
They're not destroying things.
Right.
What is your opinion about families and breweries?
Well, I mean, we're first and foremost a family-friendly, family-forward brewery and operations, and we're down the street from the Timber Grove Sports Athletic Association baseball and soccer fields, and so we get a large influx of kids that come through, and we have our moments where we'll have kids either from the sports fields or just over the weekend in general, and they will get a little rambunctious and run around, and I think that it's okay to tell somebody else's kid to just chill out, relax. You can't run in the space. You got to just be respectful, not knock anybody over. You can't go in those doors. It's okay for bar staff, bar management, whoever, or other patrons to be like, kids, take it down a notch. And if they don't, then to go to the parent and be like, hey, I really would appreciate if you can just keep an eye on your kid and help them, like, kind of
don't
bring
think
it
it
down.
should get to that level, to be honest.
We did bring that up, though, and that's very important. We brought that up last time.
Don't be afraid.
Well, no, go to the parent.
Yeah.
Go to the parent. Don't go getting on to the kids. That can create.
His point was that he was saying that he will tell the kids.
I will. I mean.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, but it's both. It's both.
Yeah.
Casey, I mean, honestly, like,
I might go to the parent first, to be honest.
It depends on
before
what's
the
being
kid.
done, I guess. If they're destroying
If
something.
you go to the kid, I will tell a kid. I'm not afraid to tell.
I guess
kids,
it just
stop.
depends on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like if they're destroying property, then yeah, you need to kind of cut it
Yeah.
out right on the spot. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
So, I mean, as a father of three, now teenagers, I'm perfectly comfortable with any child, any age, under the age of 18, going up and saying, you can't do that here. It's just not appropriate. And I've had kids look at me and be like, okay, cool, and they behave. And I've had other kids who just take off in the opposite direction. And as soon as they circle back to rinse and repeat, I'm there to greet them and say, hey, where are your folks at? Let's go have a conversation
to your point,
with mom
you
and
don't
dad.
automatically know which parents.
No,
are those
yeah, you
kids'
don't.
Parents. So
That's true.
Yeah.
so you can't just if that couldn't be your first go-to. You might see this kid. He's acting up.
You never know.
He's breaking
right?
something. Why are you climbing that?
Yeah, we like,
There's some behind.
What's the
Shayn
thing?
right here? Well, you can't see them, but there's like these bars behind here, and it looks like something.
I
a
could
kid
see,
would
but
wanna
what is
climb.
the thing that happens? Like, what's the?
the most, like, it's kids banging on the piano, or they're running through the tap room, like, just screaming, or they're in the brew house. They'll go back into the brew house.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a no-no
And
Try to get behind the bar.
for lots of reasons, not just.
We've only only the little toddlers try to go behind the bar because they just don't know any better. But like other kids will go into the brew house and like jump off the dock bays, and I'm just like, guys, like, what makes you think you should be back here in the first place? You know, like, really, look around. Does this look like a kid-friendly area? You know, and I try to be a soothing, calm parent.
Yeah.
And then I go, and I don't know if it's our patronage, or if it's our atmosphere, or if it's the way we approach and handle some of these child behavior issues, but we generally get a good result. You know,
It's not. Yeah, that's a rare incident.
yeah, and I'm not making something out of nothing. I'm basically just saying, hey, like all the kids want to play feather bowling, but it clearly states on the sign 16 and older. And then when the parents are like, well, why? I don't understand. Like, if I stand here and I go, if that ball hits your kid in the face, you're going to have to go get some serious plastic surgery. And I'm not responsible for it because I posted right there on that sign that says not, 16 and older.
Right.
Yeah.
And the parent immediately is like, oh, I get it. Okay. Like, that's a problem. I'm not going to let that happen to my kid.
Yeah, because it could very well
So
could.
you're saying families welcome, but supervise your kids.
Yeah, just don't assume that you can detach and let them go run rampant and
No.
Yeah.
and
But-
get
that's
away
not
for
with
our
those
it.
people-
expectations either.
For those people listening and they're trying to listen and try to figure out what the best thing to do is with their kids if they want to come to a brewery, I think there's a way to handle it. Like you said, there's a way to approach these situations. There's a soft approach. There's always a way to handle things in a softer, more. You just don't need to be blunt all the time, and unless there's something detrimental happening, it really calls for that.
Do you have a message to, I guess, the single or kidless people who have a problem with kids being at the brewery?
I mean, there's plenty of space here. I'm sure you can find a space that's kid-free. You know?
Yeah.
It
is an anomaly that a kid's running through the brewery screaming.
It is. And, you know, I think our patronage kind of knows the ebbs and flows of the day when that can and may not occur.
Well, okay.
And so, to be honest, we haven't really encountered much of what we're talking about other than, like, the few times where the kids are running around playing hide and seek or screaming and yelling, and it's other folks are like, this is, you know, too much, calm down, chill out. But a lot of parents too here, or a lot of folks here will be like, hey kids, like, you can't run there. Like, they speak up and they manage the situation.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I'm
not gonna lie. If I'm in a movie theater, somebody's talking, I'll be the first one to tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm not gonna. I do want to also. What was I gonna? I have a couple things I want to say. One thing I wanted to say was, on TikTok, a little bit of a response that we got was like, you shouldn't be wanting to drink and drive with your kids to the brewery. And they're like, why do you want to drink and drive with your family?
Right.
And I don't want to drink and drive with my family. I actually took an alcohol science class in college, so I kind of know, like, the time frame ratio of what I should be drinking, and I keep a breathalyzer with me at all times just to check myself, because I am a
We've
craft
used
beer
it.
rep, and I'm drinking a lot throughout the week because it's part of my job.
Yeah.
But
We've used it for fun.
yeah. But so I'm doing math in my head when I'm drinking, and I'm usually having 2 beers. I usually stop at 2 beers if I go out to the brewery with my kids. The max I would ever have is 3, but it's usually over a prolonged period of time.
Right.
I'm talking 2 beers over 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 beers over
ABV has a factor too.
4.5 hours. What?
ABV has a factor too.
For sure.
You know, if I'm
doing
going
math
for
in my head, I'm adding the numbers all up like Matt Damon, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like the guy on Can't Hardly Wait that has the chart, and he goes into the party and he's trying to stop the party, but he ends up getting drunk and hanging out with the jock that he's there to
we talked
sabotage.
about earlier with Shayn. He said people who partake within the craft beer scene can sometimes overindulge.
Yeah.
And he has to check himself, as do I, as a craft beer rep, where I'm going to however many bars in a week or breweries, because I like to support local breweries.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think you're right, man. I think a lot of those comments that were shaming parents for wanting to enjoy a couple of drinks, I think a lot of them were not fucking parents.
Yes, I agree.
There's a lot of that happening.
But TikTok does have.
The one guy even admitted it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I have a dog," and I was like, "Okay, well then keep your opinions to yourself." I'm sorry. Like, I guess fair enough. You can have an opinion. That's fine. That's what we're doing.
Like, if you have kids, you're just not allowed to go places anymore. You just have to lock yourself in the house and stay home and watch Netflix forever.
Being realistic, and like a lot of times, me and my wife are going with our kids, and like you said, like it's like we have a couple of drinks. If we're drinking big IPAs, we know we need to take our time. We always make sure we eat. Always. That's important. And
we've been eating. We have so much food over here.
We're self-aware enough to know, like, hey, I'm kind of getting to a point where I need to chill out and drink a little water, or just stop drinking for a little bit. And
because we are all, like it or not, we are all professional drinkers.
Some people aren't though. So there are those people that do need to kind of learn. They need they might have kids and they may visit breweries all the time, and they still sometimes fall prey to that. There's always going to happen.
I know them.
But yeah, and we try to educate them. We try to make it, especially that's part of the bartender's responsibility as well. The establishment has to kind of keep that in check as well.
Is that an issue here at New Magnolia? You ever have any over drinking?
Yeah, I mean every place has it.
Yeah.
But is that a common? I just feel like that's not really within the craft beer world as much as it would be in a bar. That's another difference I want to talk about.
I'll tell you, with over
people
20
kids, like they were saying, kids shouldn't be in breweries at all because it's a bar. It's a place of drinking. It's not meant for those people.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's a different atmosphere. People within the craft beer scene aren't someone to overindulge. They normally do the Matt Damon math in their head.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm an anomaly in that.
But I'll say from 20 years of service experience, starting when I was 19, 41 now.
Yeah.
And working, serving, bartending, and now, just now doing sales for a brewery within the past year, it's like, I'll tell you for a fact, like it's a fact that people behave more in breweries than they do at a regular bar or restaurant. I see more of issues with over drinking, overconsumption at a bar, way more than a brewery.
That's my point. I just feel like we're just not. That's the community. The community knows they know what they're drinking.
Right.
They know how much they can handle. They're not trying to go crazy. But I'm sure there's been a couple of examples of the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's really nothing you can do to like prevent it. You just have to be situationally aware.
Right.
One bad seed, one person who doesn't know how to cap themselves.
Well, I mean, parents egg each other on too, and they go out in spaces with significant others, and they assume that the other has their eye on the kid, and maybe they both go a little overboard or whatever. It's
You're saying you've had an issue with parents over drinking?
Oh, everybody overdrinks at some point. I mean, parents.
Yeah, it
of
happens.
Course, yeah. But we've not had any thought. Honestly, and gratefully, we've not had any significant issues here at New Magnolia, which has been a blessing. I think our audience here just kind of has they understand what we are as an organization and ownership, and they don't want to do anything to really throw a monkey wrench into that. It's again, it goes back to my point earlier about like everybody who's here right now knows me personally. That's here in the tap room and coming in, and it's like they see me as a friend. But when you're completely anonymous to a patron, that patron treats your venue like a bathroom, right? They're gonna go do whatever they want in there.
Yep.
So
Right?
you're
But when they
saying
know
community,
you,
the regulars are going to respect the place, but people that are outsiders might come and they just don't care.
I don't know if it's that extreme or that polarizing.
I don't know. I just feel like these are community watering holes.
I think
we
there's
get
a
more
level,
but there's
respectful people than
also,
you would at
but
bars.
it's also groupthink, right? So if a large part of your audience is behaving correctly, generally everybody's going to behave correctly. It's when there are people in that audience that are misbehaving that feeds itself. I mean, it's mob mentality at that point, especially when you're throwing back alcohol at any level or any type of alcohol. People will behave. I mean, social settings, people all get caught up in the moments and they just let it roll, and then they forget their presence of being, and something with a kid can unfold, or with a significant other. I mean, it's also kind of like,
You've been doing this a while. You've seen it all.
No, I can't say I've seen it all, but I've seen
it
enough to know how to navigate and anticipate.
But you realize that like a lot of your patrons, your dedicated patrons, have a responsibility. They know they have a responsibility, and that's kind of what we're saying is like people that
Those are
visit
the customers
breweries and
we
enjoy
want.
breweries are going to they tend to behave a little better than
They
just
do.
the general public.
Would you agree that the craft beer industry needs both parents with children, with families, and the single kidless people? We need both those people to survive. We need them to both to come and support these breweries. They need to live here together, drink here together.
Do we need a kids section? Is that really what breweries need?
Look, I as a parent who has gone through the early years and young adult, now teenage years with my children, I'm at the point now where I don't want to be in an environment where there's 300 kids running around doing their thing. But there's a place and a time for everybody and everything that
Families
happens.
during the day, single
Right,
people
so
at night.
pick and choose your battles. I mean, don't go somewhere and anticipate that environment is supposed to bend to your perception or what you want out of that social experience. You got to look around and read the room and know what's going on, and you got to figure out if that's where you want to be or not. But don't expect the room to change to your needs.
Correct.
Because you have some predetermined mindset on that social interaction.
Yeah.
And that is hard for people post-pandemic to really wrap their heads around now as we are becoming more socially integrated again.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Yeah, patronage responsibility is important.
For sure.
Totally. And again, I think because our patronage knows us personally, if they see somebody doing something out of turn or malicious, they're going to step in and be like, whoa. Like, this is our space as much it is Shane and John and Elizabeth
Right.
and Charlotte and everybody else that own and operate and work here. Treat it like you belong here. Like,
And a lot of times, just them being there, they kind of set the tone with just there's a vibe.
Yeah.
There's a vibe. I felt like that whenever I started visiting breweries and I started working in the industry. There's a vibe that's in the breweries a lot of times that doesn't welcome that sort of kind of just ridiculous, belligerent behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
That's what I'm
supposed to
trying
be
to say.
chill.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's supposed to be chill. No, don't get me wrong. I mean, look, even I think people forget, and I heard this the other day, and I was like, yeah, I kind of remember that. Like Kirby Ice House, when they first opened, they were 23 and up, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
because they didn't want that rah, let's tear the place up, like drink till we're blind mentality.
Yeah.
Post-pandemic, they're open to anybody 21 and older, right? Obviously. And there are a lot of bars and restaurants and venues, breweries included, which are now going to like 7 p.m. is 21 and up, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It just creates a different social experience because people want to stay and hang and enjoy and not feel like they're competing with other outside factors that are disrupting their experience.
Yeah.
You know? And so sometimes it's a balancing act, and you just have to trust the people that you are, socializing with to help figure that out.
I think 21 and up is acceptable. 21 and up at a certain time is acceptable.
Yeah, I do agree. That's what I think. There should be a time period, maybe.
You think there should be?
Some breweries?
Yeah.
I think
Some
9
breweries-
o'clock. There shouldn't be families at breweries. Is that crazy?
No, you're not crazy. I'm just, I think it's situationally different a lot of times, and I think it depends on breweries too.
Yeah.
Some breweries just kind of are
10
inviting the
o'clock,
kids.
definitely. 10 o'clock. If the brewery's open past 10, there should definitely not be families
Yeah,
at breweries.
I agree. I do agree with that. I do. Actually.
Megaton does live music sometimes on the weekends, and I don't. I think we
Is it-
prefer you not to bring your kids.
It's not
yeah.
after 7. I thought it was after 7. No
I don't
kids.
know what it is right now, to be honest.
I thought. Yeah, I don't know if it's changed, but I thought
think
for a
it has
while it was.
changed.
Yeah.
But I think during live music, some of the music's loud, big bands.
Yeah.
Like
I get it.
9 o'clock, whatever.
I guess like for me, what I was trying to kind of figure out is because I read a lot of these comments of people that a lot of them again don't have kids. Some of them just.
Yeah.
I could just tell I'm like, you just don't like kids. Like, you probably don't even remember what it was like to be a kid. And that's fine, whatever. I try not to listen to all that crap. But, like, there are some valid points, and I try to be, open-minded to what other people's opinions are that don't have kids or just don't enjoy being in these kinds of environments with kids around. And, like, how do we keep them? Because I had some people say they stopped going to breweries because of children. And I'm like, how do we bring those people back? Do we start setting these time
That's
limits?
So dumb.
And do we? I know.
You're going to lose your breweries if you don't support them.
Yeah.
We have so many breweries that
I agree, it's
supposed
dumb,
to
but-
sustain between. We're not going to. We're going to lose a couple more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's more on the horizon.
But
There's
breweries
more
being a
coming.
little bit more tuned in. I
I'm
think
already hearing some. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm hearing about breweries.
I think there are some breweries that probably allow certain activities to happen with the kids being rowdy and not stepping in and saying anything. That I think there's some of that happens. And I get it because the staff a lot of times they're not the owners. They're just a bartender, and they don't really. It's like that's not my job to go deal with the kids being rowdy. They don't want to deal with that.
You're
I get it.
representing the brewery or behind the bar. You need to learn how to talk to everybody.
I agree, but I'm just saying, in certain, you have to figure out where is that line, where
No, I'm not
where are
asking
they,
them to babysit. That's ridiculous. The parent needs to be watching the kid.
Right, yeah.
They need to have all eyes on the kid all the time.
Yeah.
That's part of you being there and bringing your kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
fully.
you got everybody has to do their part, parent included. It can't be a cage match scenario for the kids with the parents just being absent all around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very cool. Hey, y'all want to take another break and come back?
Yeah, and do a little F y'all liver.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit F y'all liver.
Sounds good.
All right,
go.
cool. Cheers.
F your liver, the game that will have you salute the general, and then say the alphabet backwards, and then elect the president, and then bust a move, and then throw a ninja star, and then shoot your finger gun, and then roar like a T-Rex, and then freeze like ice, and then karate chop, and then bust a rhyme, and then bet on a horse race, and then spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and then make your buddy laugh. Don't touch the ground because the floor is lava. Tell a story. Eat my lips. grab 3 to 20 friends, a drink of your choice, shuffle and flip the top card, and let the chaotic hilarity unfold. F your liver, a game worth drinking to.
Everyone, we're back from our break here on Beer Someone, episode 13 at New Magnolia with Shayn, and I got Casey.
Woo! Howdy.
And we were talking about a couple things. I do want to talk about this Nelson Deep Hazy IPA I'm drinking right now. That's what you got as well, Casey.
I got the same thing.
Yep.
Tell me about this beer.
Well, so every so often we'll take a couple barrels off a production run and do a limited release. Typically, I mean, this is kind of funny that I'm saying this, but it's like, all right, what hops do we have in the cooler that we want to run through before they like expire on us?
Yeah.
And we'll just do a dry hop edition. So this is base WYSIWYG without the dry hop edition and fermentation, so the double dry hopping. We excluded those, and then this time we just took Nelson Sauvin and put it on as the dry hop.
So this is a Frankenstein beer.
It's not as soft because you're not.
I like it.
Yeah.
But
I
this
love
is
it,
your
yeah.
Indominus Rex. I'm bringing it back to Jurassic Park. So
It's got a little bit more of a hazy, or I'm sorry, a hoppy bitterness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I mean you're a big WYSIWYG fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I like it too. I'm a fan.
It's fun to watch how just managing fermentation with hop additions can change the color and texture and back end bitterness on the beer relative to the base beer that it is overall.
Did you get a shot of it? How hazy it is? It's super hazy.
No, let me get it on you.
Yeah.
It's 6.5%.
I got one too.
Yep.
Look at this thing.
This is your highest. Is it the highest ABV on the tap wall?
It is, yeah, 6.7.
Yeah.
We really don't trend much higher than that.
Yeah.
It's really good. I'm enjoying it. Your Frankenstein Indominus Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's an easy beer to just peel off of a 15 or 30. We peeled it off a 30-barrel batch that we did and just put it into the small fermenters and just ran it through separately and added a different hop. And that's it.
That's awesome.
I gotta
We
grab
did that
another
with-
deck.
We did that with Redwood too. We have actually been taking Redwood and putting it on nitro and/or cask,
Really?
and people have been jamming on it hard.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah.
Redwood's y'all's West Coast IPA.
Yeah, it's our
Cascade,
it's our
Centennial.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Traditional West Coast.
Yeah,
I
I've had
wanna
it.
point out that it's getting a little busy in here. People are starting
Yeah,
to show
people
up.
are showing up. hanging
Yeah, a
out.
little
Is
wonky
this,
weather
You
night.
got a musician back here? I think I know this guy. What's his name? Ryan Finnick?
Ryan
Yep.
Pinnick.
Ryan
Yeah.
Finnick. He's awesome.
He real
One of the
good.
best.
Ryan Finnick, you want to say anything on the Casey's microphone? Make sure you're in the camera. Make sure he's in the view. This is the camera right here.
I'm just going
Get a little closer to Casey.
Hey, look at these two beards. I'll say this.
A little closer in the mic.
New release, the Beard Song. It's out there.
Yeah? All right. Whoops. Yes.
Switch. There we go. The Beard Song just released yesterday. It's on Spotify, YouTube's, all the stuff. Go check it out. It's a good one.
Okay, I appreciate
Nice.
you.
Original.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right
sir.
on.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, it's gonna have
Ryan
some,
Pinnick, everybody.
Some music here tonight. When's that start?
6 to 9 is the music. We've got Satellite Pizza serving up pizza all night.
So we got to get out of here before 6.
Satellite.
Well, you got to wrap up this podcast at some point, right?
Yeah. Satellite pizza, man. Great pizza.
Yeah.
Really yummy stuff.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to have him here for the last 2 years. He kind of just floats around here in the neighborhood. So next year, we all love crawfish, and crawfish season is pretty big for a lot of breweries, but Clutch City Crawfish will only be hosting at New Magnolia all crawfish season 2026.
Wow.
No other venues in Houston. And then he will be doing his catering and to-go out of New Magnolia as well. And then Satellite Pizza in the next month or so will be set up as a permanent food offering here at New Magnolia also.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool.
So we're trending in the right direction with our food and food programming and offering. And if I'm not mistaken, Satellite is expanding out into pasta and other street tacos and things of
Wow.
that nature. Given
Okay.
the overlap between all the food product, that you can easily go from a pizza to a taco.
You get a taco pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
right. So we're excited about that, and that's on the forefront.
Hell yeah.
And then we're going to be closing in our north porch, our covered porch, and air conditioning that, which I think I mentioned earlier. And then we've got we're getting booked out pretty quickly for the holiday season. We've got a lot of opportunity for corporations to come in or family events to do holiday events here. Last year we hosted about 26, 28 events between October and December here in the tap room, which was great. So we're really looking to continue to expand that opportunity as we go forward.
You know what's crazy? And I'm sorry to interrupt. Nobody's come and asked me for this shirt yet.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, no.
Somebody was just waving at me, but I don't think they saw the post.
I know. I'm waiting for somebody to interrupt and be like, I want that shirt.
Yeah. They've got like 10, 15 minutes.
Pick a card, Shane. We're going to play some F Your Liver.
All right, here we go. Right down the middle. What do I got here?
What do you got?
I got heaven. Throw both hands in the air. The last player to do so drinks. I'm reading the fucking card. I mean, I'm the loser on that one.
I'll drink with you.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's like a gotcha card, huh?
Well, it's an action card.
Okay.
And so if you read the description, then they're actually, you see it has a red exterior.
Yeah.
So they're all labeled by what the card style is and by color.
I gotcha.
So if you do an action, you're immediately supposed to take an action. After you play the game once, you kind of have it memorized.
Right.
I started reading the card before I read it out loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't have my glasses on either, so I'm like squinting, which is my uptake level is
Okay, Casey
slow.
drew a card. I got it on Casey right now. What you got?
Asshole. Everyone has to drink except for you, and you get to draw another card.
Yeah. Cheers, Shane.
Cheers. You don't have to drink, though, but you get the cheers.
Okay, I got another one for you.
2 in a row. Dangerous business here.
What you got?
Oh, man. Good Lord. Never have I ever.
Oh, this is a long one.
Everyone put up 3 fingers.
3 fingers.
Starting with a card puller, you state, never have I ever, and insert something you have never done. Skinny dip, bungee jump, blah, 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 blah. If you have done
we
the
normally try to
subject.
keep it craft beer related.
We
but
know how
you
to
don't
do
have
this.
to. You don't have to.
Yeah, it takes too long. Never have I ever been on a cruise ship. Been on a yacht. But never been on a yacht. Even despite the hat.
I actually have been on a yacht.
So does that mean
If you've been on a yacht, you put a
drop
finger down.
Okay.
All right. So do I go again?
You go. No.
Or does somebody else go?
Shane's turn now.
All right. Never have I ever had been washed by tapping a keg, a beer bath from.
Oh, that's
What is it?
definitely happened to me.
Beer bath from tapping a keg, where the beer shoots up.
Like when you tap a keg and it's
just you just
That's never happened to you?
miscalculate your coupling.
I was in a cooler once, and I was moving stuff around, and a keg kind of went off. It wasn't my keg. Does that count?
Yeah, as long as it
Okay.
sprayed you.
Yeah,
I
as
got
long as you
you.
got wet from a keg.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you're up.
Okay. Trying to keep it beer related. Huh. What can I knock Shane?
Phil's bringing his baby in here for
Oh,
the podcast.
Yeah, his baby,
He's on the camera
internet
again.
famous.
We got
Internet famous.
our first baby appearance on the podcast. Oh my God.
You gotta put him in Shane's cam.
He's cute, man.
Oh, he's in my cam right now.
What's going on? What's going on?
That's a beautiful
I gotta
baby.
think of this. What am I gonna say?
That was Phil from Huey's, his baby. Super cute.
Man, this is hard. I'm trying to think of something good that I
You've
can
done it
knock you
all?
both out.
You can't
I've-
think of anything?
No, that y'all have done that I haven't done. Never have I ever has my. No, it's not true because I work. Fuck. I'm stuck, man. I feel like. Never have I ever.
Lit your fart.
Never have I ever brought a beer back from the dead.
Yeah, I can't say I've done that.
Well, yeah.
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 I get that one. That's
Yeah.
that was a layup.
He got you on that one. That was a good one,
Yeah.
Brandon. Good
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Good job.
I got Shayn. I
Yeah.
need you a drink.
Yep.
And then I got to draw a card.
Yeah.
Okay. One more, Shayn. Is this the first time you've ever played After Your Liver?
It is.
And then we're going to talk about some awards.
We've had a few.
So I got this card. It's called Ninja Star.
Jam.
Cut right through me.
Did it cut you?
Dead.
That was the point. It says if you draw that card, throw it at somebody, and if you hit them, they must drink.
They must drink.
If you
I
miss-
think this is a one-sided game where I drink everything.
Yeah. We pre-planned all this.
I
Exactly.
see how it goes. I saw him fishing through the cards. Now I know why.
I know, right? Yeah, he does it every time.
No, I don't look at the cards.
I know why
I
you do
shuffle.
it, but yeah, I'm just talking shit.
Okay, so I know we wanted to talk about. There's a bunch of awards behind us.
On the beers?
The medals.
The
Yeah.
walls? Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a few.
I'll take the cards back.
Yep.
And tell us about your awards, your medals.
We're really lucky in that every beer that we made early on for distribution as our core beers has since won a national award.
Wow.
And it's not because we just always enter those beers in competitions. We entered other beers, but like there are years where we only have entered Heights Light at GABF and we took a silver in the
Wow.
American Light Lager category. Or
That's awesome.
2 years ago, we entered Dry Hop Kolsch in U.S. Open, one beer in the session category, got silver. Last year, we entered a couple IPAs in the Ultimate IPA competition, and we got a couple golds and silver for some of those. And
Wow.
So,
awesome.
it's nice to be able to have a historic medal, a couple lager medals, a couple ale medals, a couple IPA medals. So now we're on the hunt for sour medals,
Yeah.
Wow.
and that's kind of what we're going after next. So we're not like always trying to like we're gonna always push this one beer for all the medals we can get out of it. We're like, hey, where can we show that we can actually are good at what we do and can win medals in other categories as opposed to just these other ones that we've already taken in. So
Well, that's an
the way we
accolade that
prove
not
it.
every single brewery is going to have. In a world where you're a brewery that has to out-survive other breweries, that's something that means something. You look at breweries like No Label, and they're doing really well, and they have
Yeah.
all these things. And Senate Avenue, and now y'all, and
Yep. Yeah.
getting medals. That means something within the scene.
I mean, Valentin's
Valentin's,
he's got the most.
Yeah.
He's got the most. I think him and No Label are on they have an inner brewery rivalry because they're besties
Yeah.
to hit 100 medals and whoever can get there first.
Yeah.
And they're pretty moving along pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to watch.
It is.
That's pretty
it's
cool.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to get Val on one of these things. He already said
Yeah.
he'd do it.
Just need to
we
get
keep-
planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We book ahead.
Yeah, the medal competition game is fun. It's meaningful, but it's also reached a point of frustration for us because the comments coming back are definitely coming back from unqualified people who have not been trained in proper beer tasting.
Wow.
And the organizations that put these competitions on really need to do a better job of sourcing judges, qualifying
yeah.
judges, and really making sure that when they are doing their job that they are true to what they are doing with the styles and the beers and not just going for what they like and their
Yeah.
thought process on it. And we've had some incredibly bizarre comments that have come back to us in recent competitions, which have caused us to say the competitions need a wake-up call. And if beer is supposed to be like so well thought out and well judged, then the competitions really need to step up their game and make it work for the benefit of the beer industry if the beer industry is going to survive, if things like medals are important to the consumer base.
Is there a specific organization or group of?
I'll be honest, we have seen some bizarre and really poorly thought out score sheets across all of them. US Open offers nothing in return for your beer entry, but GABF does, World Beer Cup does, and we have seen some just completely I can't even just mind-boggling comments. Whereas if it was like, did they even sit at the right table for the beer they were judging? Do they know what they were judging?
Well, I'm going to go down there and talk to them because I just bought my tickets to Denver. I'm going to the Great American
Brandon's
Beer
definitely going to give him an earful.
So, I mean, it's important for them to do a good job. And I've judged many competitions, and I take in what everybody says around the room, and I listen to people, and it's like, dude, you shouldn't be here, man. Like, you just made the worst comment about a style that you dislike or cannot stand, and that just probably is just one of many that you think that way on, and you should not be smoking a cigarette or cigar and going back in and judging a competition.
Wow.
And so they're just looking at it as a free route for getting hammered on a Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. And
yeah, my buddy Ted, he likes beer. I'll just have him be a judge. Yeah.
You're saying anybody can walk in there and become a beer judge?
You can lie and qualify yourself on the application.
Yeah.
There's nothing that really stops you from
There's no vetting
through the door. No, not hard. I mean,
that's crazy.
They make it seem like there's vetting, but when you're running GABF and you need 1,000 volunteer judges.
How hard is it to find people that have a Cicerone, certified Cicerone? I mean, how hard is that?
They're there, and maybe they're doing a good job in round 2 or 3.
Is there a rule where they can't be involved in the breweries already? If they have their own brewery, they can't.
No,
be a judge?
they love it. I get.
Because I'm wondering if the right people are in the spot.
So I'm able to judge final rounds.
Yeah.
Because I do tasting and sensory perception here at Magnolia, and I'm part of the recipe development and quality control. So I'm allowed to judge final rounds. Some people who claim all that, they're not final round judges. They're just not supposed to be. They can be first round judges, second round, but final round should be BJCP or QA trained and have depth of experience and know-how.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's kind of interesting. I didn't expect that conversation to go that way.
No, I thought really interesting.
Sorry, I don't know why
no, that's great. No, I'm kind of glad because that opens my eyes up because Deck has never. We don't have a canning line yet, so we haven't entered it into any competitions.
We're entering, I think, a couple this year.
Yeah.
We entered it last year, and we switched some things up, and we're re-entering it again this year.
Yeah, and competitions are important because it helps sell beer, and it qualifies you in the marketplace, and it's there's value in doing them, but at the same time, you charge $180 per beer to enter it in, and then the first judge can't even write legibly, so you don't really know what their comments are.
So it's not just their beer taste; it's their writing ability.
Well, it's a whole barrage of things that just kind of
That's
unfold.
crazy.
That's crazy.
You expect better.
You expect better.
Yeah.
Truly.
Interesting.
I get it.
Interesting. Well, cool. So now's the time.
Yeah.
We got to bring up the Bloomfest announcement.
Oh yeah, Bloomfest. We teased that out at the beginning of
We
this.
teased it.
Yeah.
What's going on with Bloomfest?
Started as a anniversary event for New Magnolia, where we invited a bunch of breweries to come in and showcase their beers, and it was a way for us to introduce them and our patrons to each other, and really it was just a true mechanism for collaboration early on. And then 2 years ago it became labeled as Bloomfest, which was meant to bring new artisanal exotic beers to the public, and
not just your regular stuff.
Let's show us what you really can make, and just don't show me something that's going to be on the grocery store shelf or at every bar in town. Really go out on a limb and make something fun for the festival, for the patronage, right?
Let her rip.
And so the idea was that, and I've always had this idea and haven't really communicated it publicly to anybody until this year, but the idea is that Bloomfest does not belong to New Magnolia. It belongs to the craft beer community in Houston and Texas at large. So what I'm challenging the Houston beer market is for another brewery to take on Bloomfest 2026 and to bring it in-house. I will walk them through and guide them through every aspect. I'll share everything that I've learned. I'll show them how I've priced it out.
So you're calling somebody out right now?
I'm saying there are breweries that can pull it off, that should take on this challenge and show that there is community in craft beer.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that Houston suffers from the most is the lack of inter-brewery community.
100%.
We act like we talk like we want it, and we pretend like it's there, but we truly do not embrace it, nor do we execute
Me
it.
and Casey are all about that.
Preach.
We love Houston craft beer. We love being a part of that community. Let's get together. I feel the energy with the reps.
Yeah.
The reps want it.
Yeah.
They do. And
Yeah.
we get together. It's a different vibe than it was 2 years ago when you were out
I
there,
agree.
so.
I think things are shifting into that direction. I think these kind of arid, kind of icky times that we're in financially, economically, whatever you want to call it.
We're all
I think
feeling
we're
it.
all
It brings
starting to
all
kind of.
together.
This is sort of driving us to come together a little bit more as a community, and him and I, especially on the north side, we're really trying to drive that on our little nook where the
With
4
Final
breweries are.
Gravity, Back Pew,
And
Megaton,
but we want that
Backup.
all throughout the city. And to your point, I think that's an
100%.
awesome idea.
That's why we started this.
Here's my next question. I guess is like we want to keep that in the loop, though, right? We want to keep that somewhere.
I think naturally you get a bigger draw early on inside the loop, and as this becomes to have gravitas to it, you can take it elsewhere. I mean, like look at Dylan's Dylan Emmons up at Foss. I mean, his Lagerfest draws massive people from
so
all
much
over
Yeah,
fun.
the
you're right.
It's so much fun at that.
You're
It's
right.
awesome. It's super specific. Mine's a little broader with Bloomfest that you could have a lager, but you can also have like any kind of funky, weird beer you want.
Interesting, wacky
And
stuff. Yeah.
I think that
I had so
for
much
what
fun
it
at Bloomfest.
offers,
I wanna
you've
do it
got to
again.
there are venues that can support it and be successful with it, and
Can you
it
name
can grow and
3
grow.
breweries that you would love?
Like ideal.
Ideal. 3 ideal breweries.
Yeah, I
Challenge
think
3 breweries right now. Somebody stand up and do
Wow, is that
Bloomfest.
Thunder? That sounds like
I know.
Well, Thunder.
somebody dragging a box across the roof. Honestly, I think like Eureka could pull it off. They're our
Eureka.
backyard neighbor.
Definitely.
Equal Parts could pull it off. They've got it. Senate
So
Avenue.
you wanna keep in the
Senate
Heights,
Avenue
Equal
could pull it
Parts.
off.
Senate Avenue.
You know, they could
Okay.
pull it off. Valencin's I could, but he's
Okay, all the way to Jersey
Pearland.
Village.
It's a bit of a journey down there.
That's
I mean,
4.
any of these breweries could,
I
but
love
like
the
there's
call-out.
just right here in our backyard. There you got to have some space. You got to have some access to outdoor parking and and acreage, or at least something where people can set up their tents and people can come and hang out. It could even be at Baylison's. I mean,
Really?
Rescue could open up and block a street off, and they could put it in,
that
and they
could
can
happen.
make it happen.
Yeah.
It's just somebody has to be willing to accept the process. And I've gone through it 4 years in a row, and I can share everything that I've learned and what it's cost me. And we did really well last year, and it was a successful event in spite of like the weather and everything else the last 2 years.
It was the weekend of Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that challenge, but we had a packed house and we did really
Yeah.
well. I mean, Lagerfest for Foss, he draws 700 ticket holders.
Yeah.
We drew
That was so
we
much
drew
fun.
about 400 ticket holders.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
awesome.
Back to back, right? That was one
They
week
were
in
pretty
there.
close together, yeah.
But my point is like I think any brewery can pull it off if they really just look at the opportunity and think about where they are and what resources they have available to them and how they can pull it off and make it work. Anybody can close a street down. I mean, if Moon Tower can close a street to throw an all-day music festival, literally anybody can do that same thing.
Yeah.
They just have to be willing to commit the time, energy, and effort to it and do the work that's behind it and accept the market and everything that comes with it, because it's not easy. You have to be willing to roll the dice a little on some things, and I think it does work and can work, and I really would love to see another brewery take this on, because then I think that the idea of craft beer community amongst breweries and then amongst our patrons would begin to really show through. I mean, Great Heights could do it. Walking Stick could do it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
They
any
could even
any
do
of
it at the
these-
same time. It could
right,
be like
they could
a
have
thing
a block
between.
party
Yeah,
on
collaborative,
the street,
yeah.
right? You know,
It's the
take
idea.
the parking lot next door and buy all the little parking spots for $4 an hour or whatever it
Yeah.
costs, and just take the whole goddamn parking lot
You
over.
hear that? Craft Beer Houston Heights, downtown. Shane
Yeah,
wants
Frosttown
to move
could-
Bloom
Frosttown could knock it
yeah.
out. Eighth Wonder could
Bloomfest
knock it out.
Tejas.
Tejas, if they wanted to, they could do it.
Take over that whole building.
Megaton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
go, yeah.
everybody
Decca,
can do
I don't
it.
know about
Everybody
Decca.
can do it. Oh, you won the. He is
oh,
interrupted. We got a shirt winner.
Yeah!
You won a
He
shirt.
saw it. He saw it.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Thank you.
Took you long enough.
That's awesome. I thought it'd be done by now. No, we were waiting on you.
So too.
We were waiting on you.
We were waiting. Appreciate you.
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Thank
Cheers.
you so much, sir.
Hi, Kenny. Thank you.
What was his name?
Kenny.
Kenny.
Beer Club.
Shepherd Beer Club. Okay. Shepherd Beer Club. Kenny.
Appreciate
Cheers,
it.
man. Thank you so
Beer
much.
Club member.
Cheers.
Thank
Beer
you.
Club member.
That was fucking cool.
That was amazing.
That was
Fuck
awesome.
It happened.
Yeah, dude.
It happened.
Very
it was
cool.
organic, too. I tried to set somebody up early to do it, and they dropped the ball.
Oh, right. Yeah, but yeah, no, that was, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
No, but he said it happened organically.
That
No,
happened.
it did.
That was
No, I
what-
know, but yeah.
But earlier, I tried to get started.
You were trying to, yeah.
5 minutes. And like,
Throwing
blah,
us a
blah, blah.
bone. I appreciate
Yeah,
it, Shane. Thank you.
No, it was fun. Okay, so I got one more question to ask you because we do got to get out of here.
Yeah, we got to get this musician
You want to ask
going.
it?
Top 5 breweries in Houston?
Oh, I mean, that I like.
Outside New Magnolia.
Well, yeah. So I'm a fan of variety, quality. So True Anomaly, Valensson's, Great Heights, Equal Parts, Foss. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Foss.
Is that 5?
That's 5 right there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, those are those are breweries that
You shotgunned
that
them out.
I think
Yeah, he did.
You already knew the
have
answers.
somehow
Yeah.
made an impression on me that's
Inspired you?
that's lasting and and inspirational in a lot of ways.
I think it's a solid list.
So yeah,
It is a good list.
and
Yeah.
there's definitely more, but that's just like who came to mind the quickest.
I
Yeah.
love hearing when we talk to these craft breweries who influences them.
Yeah.
And that really great list. And I love every list I hear, to be honest. I could see that when I try their beer and when I talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nobody in Houston influences us.
No?
No, that all comes from the East Coast.
Oh, yeah?
So our friends on the East Coast, our brewery connections on the East Coast are where we go for inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's truly where it's at. And Houston is, I don't know why, it's always about 18 months behind the
Right, the
East and
trend.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
that's
you're not following the trends. You're the first ones creating it here in Houston is what you're saying.
well, Hella Pils was the first dry hopped Pilsner in the Houston market 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, give credit to Shayn, who was our head brewer. That guy had a nose and an eye and an ear for what was coming and how to make it happen today. And,
Yeah.
you know, we've always tried to like be a little bit out in front of it, you know, before it's actually landed here in Houston.
Early bird gets the worm.
That's smart, though, that you're looking outside, because I did the same thing when I started doing social media for Ingenious. I kind of hit this point where I was having like a little creative rut, and I kind of felt like I was repeating myself and repeating the same kind of. So I started looking at some other breweries, but I didn't want to look at breweries in Houston. I want to look at breweries outside of Houston to get what they were doing with social media and people that are a little bit more, what I personally felt a little more advanced with brewery social media. And people that I looked up to that did that kind of thing. And I would kind of gather a little inspiration from them rather than somebody that's local. Just because, I don't really want to copy somebody that's local.
It's all
You know?
redundant.
Yeah.
It's all redundant.
And
after a
at the
while.
end of the day, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, I think we should close it out. He's about to start his music, and I need to go host a trivia night at Megatron.
I just have one last question. Since
One
you
more
answered the
question,
last
let's
one
go.
so quickly, it was just, where do you see the future of craft beer in Houston?
Okay, let's go.
I really think that this whole lager pilsner movement is going to take hold and really kind of capture the consumers and really give them what they're looking for. I also see low to moderate ABVs becoming a dominant like ABV offering here as we go forward.
Yep.
And then I don't know that hazies and all big IPAs are going to be dominant the way they have been in the past. I think they're going to just be kind of in the background, not going away, but just subtly taking a step back.
Yeah. We talked about that a lot, actually, the ABV thing, is it's trending downward.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really love a good hazy, but I agree with you. I'm more interested in lower ABV lagers right now. That's what I want to try when we go to these places. I do want to try the hazies.
Yeah.
But the first thing I want to try is the low ABV lagers.
Yeah.
Right. Start off with a good solid lager, and you guys y'all kill it in that.
Well, as I always tell everybody, you can't hide anything in a lager. You can hide all your mistakes in an IPA.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
So
Thank you so much, Shayn, for
Absolutely.
coming on.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, doing the podcast. I love your brewery. You're a good friend of mine. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been super fun, super informative. I feel like I got a history lesson today. It's,
no, that was super cool. I really enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, it's been really great. Somebody came and got the shirt at the last minute. I love that.
Can we get a little shot of this? This is the top one.
The 6-pack, Brandon.
Oh, yeah. Let
Yeah.
me, here, you got the. Can you turn the one right there? Yeah. Right there. You got one right here. Let me put it on the camera. Is this the beer that we tried? The
Grand Select. That was the lighter colored one.
That was the one I was drinking for the most part. Started and I drank. And here we got the Bach.
The can art has an old photo rendition of the brewery. Yep. It's really cool.
Yeah, try to make it look like old paper.
Yeah.
Like they would have back in the day.
Yeah. It's really awesome, man. I'm excited. So I'm going to take some home.
Yeah.
Oh, this is for us?
I'm going to take some home. You're welcome to take. I mean, you want to split?
Yeah.
I could do,
Let's split it. Let's break it. Yeah, let's do that. Appreciate you bringing that out for us. And it's been super fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Shayn. Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys.
Here's someone. Episode 13, New Magnolia, done. Episode 14 at Frosttown. Back to back. We're doing one next week at Frosttown.
Coming at you.
Right on.